We told you. You didn't believe us, but we told you. You didn't think it was true, but behold, it is. And today only, maybe another time, but mainly today, we're going
Did we
over
fuck up again?
we're going over our third Elder Dragon, the Elder Dragon of the Winds, Kushala Daora. Holy shit.
Everyone's favorite motherfucker when it comes to wind pressure.
So, we will not be covering Rusted in this. I did some research beforehand because I thought we were going to have to. Rusted, for whatever reason, falls under the category of variant and therefore is going to get its own episode, which is strange because I through ecology, through what I understand of how these lives, this is just a life cycle thing. Like once these things are encrusted in metal, that they are legitimately covered in metal. When they get old, it starts to rust and they have to shed it and they just grow a new skin. That's how I've been interpreting it because I've seen it in ecology videos. There's actually a movie you can unlock in Freedom Unite, which is where I've seen it, and it shows where there's a dead elder dragon on top of the mountains, and like you can see it in GU as well. There's a dead elder dragon on top of the snowy mountains. It's not an actual corpse though. It is the shedded skin of a Kushala Daora that rusted and had to shed, which I thought, okay, well we'll just not even mention it. It's the Basarius Gravios deal. It's the same thing with Diablos, Black Diablos. It's just a different Gravios, Black Gravios. It's just an environmental thing, an age thing. But no, it's apparently a variant. So now it gets its own video. You know what that means? We gotta go hunt rusted Kushala at some point in the fucking future. Anyway, Kushala Daora.
Delightful.
I will say he gets points for being the first true dragon. And what I mean by true dragon, I mean in standards of like when you think of fantasy terms.
Western European dragon.
Exactly. In fantasy terms, a true dragon. In usual generic terms, a European dragon. He is the first of them. He's not the first Elder Dragon. That would be Kirin, followed by Lao Shenlong. But he is the first of the what comes to your brain when you think a dragon. It is Kushala. He first appeared in that game we don't talk about, so we're not going to mention that. But he then appears again later on in most of the second gen games. I want to say he skips. I don't think he skips third. I think he's in every. I think he's in every gen. I will say.
Just had his game appearances pulled up. God damn it.
But
Game appearances. He shows up in 2, Freedom Unite, 4. Yeah, it looks like everything. He appears
wait.
in every generation.
It goes from Freedom Unite to 4.
Yes.
So he skips through third gen. Shit.
Hmm.
Interesting. So Kushala does skip third. A lot of monsters did skip third gen and came back for fourth, but fourth kind of brought everything together. But they also stayed into the fifth when they came back from the fourth. So it's real. Third generation is really really weird because it introduced like a whole new line, and then that line kind of vanquished and disappeared while the old ones came back. It's kind of like it's kind of like when they swap into new Pokemon generations and you don't recognize any of the Pokemon anymore. It's all new shit. You've never seen these things before, and then you get to the after the end game where you got to fill out the national decks, and all of a sudden everything comes back. It's like, but in terms of Kushala, yeah, I think the first thing is he's supposed to be a boss monster. He's one of those boss monsters like we've discussed before with monsters such as Nergigante, searches monsters like who else did we cover that was like a boss monster? Oh,
I'm trying to think of that now.
we literally just had the board out too. You'd think I would have looked and paid more attention. I'll actually grab the board because I want to see because we used that exact terminology before. I don't remember who it was for though. It wasn't Diablos. I know that.
Hmm.
Devil Show. It was Devil Show that we did that for.
Ah,
But yeah, he's
the
one
pickle.
of yeah that really really briny son of a bitch. But yeah, in terms of oh man the board fell. In terms of what he's supposed to be, he's just a boss monster. That's just it. He's just one of the many hurdles and challenges along your way, and
Yeah.
he does an okay job at it. I mean, especially in the older generations where he wasn't so spammy like he is in World. Uh, and honestly, and for those of you who are coming here after seeing, I have to make the part 2 to that. Because the way Elder Dragons used to work is you would fight them, and it would automatically repel them, and they would run away, and you have to then do another quest to go and kill the one, but it still has all the damage, all the wounds, and everything. You gotta go kill it. From that point on, I think you can just straight kill them afterward. I don't know. But anyway, for those of you who have seen the first part to it, we have killed a Kushala, or repelled a Kushala. It is piss poor easy in older generations. I mean, it is so fucking... Which is why I guess they kind of jumped the gun in 5th gen, but inadvertently made it one of the most annoying and tedious things on God's green earth. Because that thing is just a... Ugh. But...
It spams wind pressure.
I mean...
Constantly.
It's one thing when, like... a hunting horn is involved, because a hunting horn can shut down Kushala's aura, and then nobody has to worry about the aura, and that's fine. But the aura isn't the fucking problem. That can be negated with poison damage, it can be negated with a cat playing the orchestra, it can be negated with the hunting horn on another player. The problem is the tornadoes. It can spawn like 5 of them at once in its most powerful variant, I think, of Arch.
If you do not immediately flash pod it when it goes into the air, God help you.
Like, I was playing, I think it was Rise. Me and some friends of mine at the time were playing it, and like there was 5 tornadoes, and they could move in Rise. They move and follow, and 5 of them were just fucking closing in. It was a nightmare. But yeah, there used to be one of the dumbest things though was in Freedom Unite. I remember there was a little gimmick where if you built a certain amount of armor, or it was jewels. There was a skill. It was a skill that was made specifically for the 3 elder dragons at the time, the big ones, which was Kushala, Daora, Teostra, and Chameleos. Chameleos made his return in that trio in Rise, which I was very happy to see him make that trio return, because they didn't have him in World, and instead they replaced him with Lunastra, which that was her first game appearance after 2nd generation. She had skipped 4th as well, I believe. But there was Anti-Chameleos, Anti-Daora, and Anti-Teostra. That was the skill, and it would basically negate their aura effect on you and reduce. I think Daora's was negated all wind pressure. It negated his. It basically just made it where you could just walk up on them like they were nothing, and just beat the fuck out of them for free. But even then, it wasn't worth speccing into because of how many jewel slots it took and the armor type that you needed. So it was just But you know, I've had experience with Daora throughout the generations, and yeah, he's definitely a lot harder than he used to be. But it's not a thing of difficulty; it's a thing of he's just, me pushing you and being stronger than you is one thing, but when I sit there and I challenge you to a pushing match, so to speak, and I just punch you in the face with a brass knuck, that's not really I'm stronger than you. That's I'm using some outside fucking source to just make things a lot harder for you to do anything. And that's just what the wind pressure is. That's all the tornadoes are. He's not harder to fight. It's that specific mechanic that makes it such a fucking problem. He's got the same moveset that he's always had, except for in the older gens he would do one where he would hover in the air and he would just breathe a stream of jet air just back and forth as he moved, and that was, you could just go up underneath him. The moment he gets in the air, just go under him. He can't touch you, and the moment he lands, he's already dead. It's nothing. But in this newer gen, it's tornado, tornado, tornado. I'm gonna jump, tornado, tornado. I'm gonna fly in the tornado, 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 tornado. Hey,
I'm gonna somehow land in the tornado when you flash pod me.
Yeah, did you flash pod me at the wrong time? Guess what? My head in the tornado.
My body in the tornado.
Your hopes and dreams in the tornado. So, as somebody who's only had experience with 5th gen Daora, uh, what are your thoughts with
I mean, he's there for a reason, and I like his design. I like the design,
Yeah.
and honestly, like, I would not have an issue were it not for the bullshit that is the tornadoes. That is my biggest gripe. Because once you get strong gear, once you get gear that's like late game master rank or late game high rank, depending on if you're fighting high rank or master rank, Kushala ain't shit. You get on top of it and you have something to negate that aura. That's that.
Mhm.
You're not dealing with any issues. And if you have wind pressure negate, you're even better off.
And it's
But
even
it's the amount of time it takes.
yeah,
And also the fact that you never want to go back to fighting it
no.
after the fact.
And there's not even a reason to anymore. Like the reason I'm doing it in Freedom Unite right now, for those who watch, and you probably already know, but for those who haven't, the only reason I'm doing it is because the way we're doing Freedom Unite is we're doing only the key quests unless I have to do otherwise to grind, which is the point of Kushala. I don't have to fight Kushala. He's not part of the key quests, but I need to grind him because the next key quest is a dual hunt with regular and Black Diablos, both of which are extremely weak to ice, and I'm not farming Blanganga. I'm not doing it. He's an annoying little shit stain. He's almost as bad as Kangala. I'm not doing it. But Kushala has some of the best ice weapons at this point I'm in the game, and unfortunately that means I'm gonna have to grind the shit out of him. But the problem is that I also have the Kezu Shock Sword, the most powerful thunder weapon at this point in the game, other than maybe Kieran's stuff, but I don't really think it's going to matter that much of a difference. But he's so weak to thunder, I am literally just decimating this poor man. And
Hmm.
Kazu doesn't exist in 5th gen, or, well, he doesn't 5th gen. He doesn't exist in World, but you do have access to Tobi Gadachi. You have access to, I think, how many thunder monsters even are there in base world? Oh my god.
In base world,
There's Toby.
like,
Because Zenogre didn't show up until Iceborne, I don't think. I want to say it's Toby, and I honestly can't think of another thunder monster than Toby in base world.
Kieran.
Kieran. No, Rajang was Iceborne. Yeah, Kieran. Yeah.
Toby.
So
That's
you do have to fight Kieran before you fight Kushala. So you could have one of the most powerful thunder monsters weapons. And by the time you get to Kushala, he's done, because the thunder is so fucking effective against that dragon. But
yeah, no, there is not much in
so,
terms of
do you think Kushala's coming back to Wild?
for as much as I wish I could give that man shit. Odds are he is.
Because my thought process is they'll probably shelve him for a new Elder, most likely.
I hmm, I'll give you that there's a good chance that he gets shelved for another elder, but on the off chance that he does not, there is a good chance that he just sticks around
They're probably gonna bring the
and
trio back.
causes even more issues.
Cause,
I just hope they decide not to fuck us over by having him spam tornadoes again.
Cause it might be one of those instances where he doesn't come back, and then the DLC drops, and he's in the DLC. Cause that is what they did with Rise. Is when Sunbreak came out, a lot of old monsters came back. Because
Very
Iceborne,
true.
Iceborne did that, but Iceborne was like, we hadn't seen these monsters at all, and it was great. We saw them in Iceborne, and Iceborne did really well because they brought back a lot of fan favorites. But Sunbreak then just brought back a lot, like everything, including monsters from the New World. Um, but I mean, Base Rise did that too. But they also made, the best thing I think Sunbreak did. They made Espinas canon. Oh, I can't wait to go over Espinass. But I have to figure out a way to record Rise and get that file transferred to my computer. But oh, making Espinass canon. Oh no, we gotta kill. What's this fucking What's that damn variant called? Actually, I'm hoping he's a variant and not a sub. But there's another Espinass. What is this? Flames something Espinass. That's gonna bother the hell out of me now because I don't remember what it's called.
Flaming Espinasse.
Flaming Espinass. There you go. But yeah. Oh, his theme is beautiful. Anyway, back on track. I don't honestly. I think it's time to retire Kushala Daora. That's what I think. I think it's time to retire him. He's been around for fucking ever, and World and Rise they just made me hate him. I used to like fighting him. I thought it was fun, a little challenge, and he's a cool he's a dragon made of metal. And he has a lot of background in lore. In the Monster Hunter universe lore, he's very prominent, like very important. But I 5th gen just made me hate him, and I kind of hope they do retire him. Um, but just I don't know. But yeah, they back in the ancient civilization, the reason that they got wiped out, one of the reasons, is because they would kill Kushala Daora like on the fucking daily and use their corpses to build buildings, like build towers and shit. And that started the whole Dragon War and everything that happened with that Fatalis coming around. But
Yes, if their bodies being covered in metal, that does make a bit of sense.
yeah, I mean actual steel, like incredible shit. Um, but yeah, so I guess now we can move on to the main event, as we say here on the channel. I'm gonna leave that part of the board closed because again, there's nothing down there except the biggest disappointment in Monster Hunter history, aka Please the Off. So again, we will be covering Rusted Kushala in another video, and I hope it doesn't come for a very long time because I mean that means I'd have to grind a lot to get to that point in Freedom Unite. So I'm gonna get our icon ready for placement. What do you reckon?
Does a decent job at what he's supposed to do. He's a pretty iconic monster and does have a significant place in the lore, so as much as it is underwhelming for an Elder Dragon, I'd say somewhere between B and C.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because the top of B tier is an Elder Dragon. So it's one of those things. I need to move Najarala down a little bit because he's a little close to being an A tier where he's sitting. But yeah, I definitely agree. He's probably a B tier monster. I would definitely put Kushala like I would say on the top tier of B tier alongside with Kieran, Najrala, and Yan Kutku.
I mean, at that point, if Kieran's up there, then yeah, definitely.
I just wonder. I don't think I want to put Kushala above Najrala. I would definitely agree to put him above Kutku, but I don't think he's going above Najrala. But then again, he is more of a I don't know. He's not really more of a challenge. Kieran takes actual skill. Like, to dodge all of Kieran's attacks takes, like,
okay, I guess, to
skill.
be fair, I would say I would definitely agree with that in every generation except 5th gen.
Yeah, no, Kieran got a big kick in the nuts in 5th gen. They broke back.
They broke that horse's ankles.
They literally, yeah, like, they're going to have to put him down. He's not going to be able to race anymore. But my thing is, like, they brought back the Elders. And then they just fucked them. Teostra got fucked. Lunastra got... And by fucked, I mean they're just bullshit at this point. It's not a difficulty tweak. It's a bullshit tweak. Every Elder got hit by that shit. Except for Val, because Val was made in that game. Nergigante was made in that game. And the ones that came back got fucking nerfed, like Kieran, or turned into jank bullshit like Kushala and the Tio and Luna. I'm gonna put him behind Najarala, like right behind Najarala.
Yeah, I can accept that. I will say this. I have a soft spot for this monster, and I cannot wait until we get to cover it. Zeno, and by extension, Safijiva.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I cannot wait to cover
I.
those two.
Uh, mm,
Especially since we have to get a bigger hunting party to fight at least Safi.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction. I will say Xeno can go in A tier, but I will go ahead and just put the prediction out there that Safi's probably going to S tier.
Oh, without doubt.
Like Safi is something else entirely. But yeah, so that
You
is
cannot you cannot look at me and not tell me that that S tier isn't one solely because of the fucking Sapphire Star of the Emperor.
there's a numerous amount of things that just make Safi so fun. And honestly, to me, a lot better than Kolv in terms of being a raid monster. But that's for those videos. um,
When we eventually get to them.
yeah, whenever we get to those headaches. Okay, so that'll be it for this. As you heard in the last video, we got a Patreon. It's coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming. We're coming soon. How soon? I don't know. It depends on how long it takes Patreon to look over my account that has 0 things on it. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get it, considering the only reason I wouldn't get it is if it violated community guidelines, and considering I haven't put anything on it, I can't violate the guidelines with nothingness. So we're gonna probably get a Patreon, and then you guys can come in and support the Patreon. What'll I put on that? Fuck if I know. What'll you do when you get there? Hopefully feel the kindness in your heart to donate some money so we can keep doing things like this, and we can eat, and we can afford nicer setups and such here on the channel. This channel. The one that me and Steph are on right now. You're watching it. I don't have to explain this to you. What are you crazy? Anyway, we're probably gonna put me and for those who remember way back when I had Yoda on here, me and Yoda Dog are probably gonna have our podcast set up on that Patreon. I might also do, if people want it bad enough, I'll finally do the 100% of Ultimate Spider-Man, since we've already got the story mode beaten. But that's for then, and for as far as this being for now, Seth, anything you'd like to say?
Not really. I'm excited for this Patreon that you've got going for you. I'm excited to see what kind of technical upgrades come with it.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. The best you've ever seen.
Maybe a camera that doesn't constantly break.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? I can't remember.
Nice.
I think this camera costs like $30 or something.
Oh,
it's a little piece of shit. It's just this little circle. But yeah. So hopefully we'll see you guys in another video. We'll see you next week when we cover. I'm pointing at.
I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out.
We do have some things in the works. And by the works, I mean I'm planning and plotting how to actually fucking manage to do it. I'm gonna have to probably solo every one of those motherfuckers for that big thing we've been talking about. Considering I don't think we haven't figured out how to do it together yet, but if we could, it'd be great. But we've also got to figure out a good. I gotta get a good way of figuring out how to get hunts from Rise transferred to here. But considering it's on PlayStation. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.